Hello there and welcome to a Guild Wars 2 Basics Guide to Trebuchet use. If you're looking for a more advanced guide, check back on Friday when we'll be covering advanced Trebuchet tactics and control and how to defend yourself when you're out in the battlefield and someone's using a Trebuchet on you. In this episode we'll be covering the basics on how to effectively use the Trebuchet to support your team, as well as some basic tips and an opening rotation when you first get on it. So first up, the Trebuchet is located to the right side of your spawn and can be accessed by a banked road to the far side of it. You're also able to use any ground targeted teleportation techniques to jump up onto the platform. For more information on this, check out our Kyhlo jumps video, the link is in the description below. Once you're on the Trebuchet, you have three skills: turn left, turn right and fire. The Trebuchet turns slowly and will not turn while the fire is on cooldown, so it will take some time to get used to this. From the Trebuchet you're able to hit almost any point on the map except the area on the far side of the clock tower, and this includes the enemy's Trebuchet. What you are able to hit, however, are 3 capture points on the map and many of the choke points. It's also possible to destroy a number of different areas of the map to open up routes for your teammates. Most importantly, however, you can also destroy the wall on the clock tower, allowing you to shoot the node there. The fire skill is a channeled action, meaning the longer you hold down the button, the further it will go. As a rough estimate, when charged about halfway it will reach the clock tower node, and 3/4 of the way will hit the outside nodes. This will take practice to get used to, but with time you can land perfect shots and be a huge asset to your team. Now that's the basics on controlling the Trebuchet out of the way, but there's a little bit more to it than just sitting there and shooting players on the map. The enemy team is going to be gunning for you and then repeatedly send players to destroy your Trebuchet. As a result, you're either going to have to fight or you're going to have to run. Here's where it gets a bit more complicated. If you are to fight and you win, of course you'll keep control of the Trebuchet and be able to return to raining down fire. However, if the fight lasts longer or you lose, then your team will be getting no supportive fire for a while. So the second option is you run. You run to the opposite side of the map where there's a small hut. When your Trebuchet is destroyed, a repair kit will spawn here, and when you return with it to the Trebuchet, it will be instantly repaired. Now, there are a number of different skills which make this quicker, and the most effective of all of them is the Mesmer Portal skill, which we discussed in last week's episode when we looked at portals. But if you don't wish to play a Mesmer, teleport skills and swiftness help a lot. Depending on how much pressure the enemy team is putting on you depends on how effective you can be with the Trebuchet. If they're keeping up the pressure like most good teams will do, you only really be able to support your teammates at mid when you get a chance to get a few quick shots off before they come to you again. Depending on how much pressure the enemy team is putting on you depends on how effective you can be with the Trebuchet. If they're keeping up the pressure like most good teams will do, you'll only really be able to support your teammates at mid when you can quickly get a few shots off before they come for you again. If they're paying less attention to you, you're going to have more free reign. Also, bear in mind that if they're sending multiple players to bring you down, that means less enemies on the nose for your team to deal with. So even if you're not getting many shots off, if they're sending 2 people to deal with you each time, you're doing a service to your team. As the Trebuchet user, you'll also be a scout for your team. Your vantage point allows you to feed your team information on enemy movements, so keep passing along anything useful. Lastly, I wanted to talk briefly about what to do when you first get on the Trebuchet at the very start of a match. So first up, get on the Trebuchet as fast as possible using a teleportation skill if you can. Second, fire the first shot to where the Treb is aiming on the wall of the clock tower. You can then see what's going on that node. Fire a second shot onto the clock tower while scanning the area with your camera, looking for any enemy movements to react to and tell your team about. By this point, players should be reaching or on their nodes, and if you sent anyone your way, they'll be coming into the courtyard in front of the Trebuchet, so fire the third shot quickly into the courtyard to stop anyone coming down the tunnel. Then fire the fourth shot into the clock tower to support your allies. These 4 shots need to be fired almost directly after each other, so you need to really work on the timings. This is pretty much a standard rotation at the start of a match, and getting the timings down means your eyes are free to look over the battlefield. So that pretty much concludes the basic guide to the Trebuchet, and on Friday we're going to be having an advanced and in-depth look at the Trebuchet, talking about how to avoid its damage if you're out in the battlefield. But for now, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.